All right, guys, so here we are inside of the software. Wanted to give you just a quick little screencast to show you what's possible and how I use it. So right after we're done actually measuring the house, ultimately really what I just do is just take pen and paper, go over there, measure the exterior of the house, make notes of where, the windows are, the doors, get a basic idea of the floor plan, and then I just bring that with me into here and I plug everything in. And really depending upon the project and how specific I'm going to get with moving walls around will determine how specific I get on the interior dimensions. Meaning, if I like the floor plan layout and I'm just going to be modifying different things, then I'll get real specific on the interior measurements, where if I plan on redoing the entire, floor plan, then I really don't get too concerned with that because I know I'm going to be moving stuff around. All right, I hope that makes sense. So I just take that information that I wrote down on a little piece of paper, and I go and I plug that in here, and all that stuff is done 100% to scale. So typically what I'll do is, just get the dimensions going here first, and I'm just making this stuff up as we go along. Say 28 feet looks good to me. And again, just to reiterate the fact that I always try to, locate a house that is simple. And the more closer you can get to these basic rectangular shapes, the easier life is. Trust me when I tell you. And then what I do is I really just duplicate that. And I wish there was a way. Let me see if there is a way. I learn all this, sometimes just by playing around with it, and actually don't like looking at tutorials only when I need to. But anyway, I was going to try to just do a copy and paste, but obviously that's not working. So then I just recreate the exact same dimensions over here. And again, this is really all going to be dependent upon the project, on how much I do to this or not. All right. If this is just me thinking I'm going to redesign the whole layout, I'll just sort of eyeball where everything is as far as the interior. But on the exterior is where you want to be as specific as possible, so that the dimensions you're working with are accurate. So now we just have pretty much the same thing on each side. And on the one side, what I normally do is I'll just go in here and create the floor plan that I made notes on of the existing house. All right, and to do that, you just do pretty much the same thing, but instead of choosing an exterior wall, you choose an interior wall. And I'm just going to make this up just for the sake of making things easy, and doing this from here just like that to give you an example of what I'm talking about. And let's just say those are 2 bedrooms, and then we'll make let's just say a bathroom over here. All right. And, I'll just use that as sort of like the ballpark of how I would structure these, and then just kind of figure out from there what I'm going to move around. So, incidentally, you can look at this from one of many different angles. First and foremost, let's look at the 3D versions of that and look at what they call the perspective overview, which is really the exterior view of the property. And mind you, this program is a very demanding program on your resources of your computer. So you'll notice this computer's pretty new. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, and even with that, you'll notice that it's sluggish at best. So this just gives you the exterior view, and you can really go much more detailed on this if you want. You can actually take a picture of the exterior of the property, and then you can use that as a backdrop, and you'll see what the house would look like on there. And you can also then put the landscaping component of it, meaning like with the grass, so you're not just looking at white dead space. But that's really not necessary. For what we're doing, we just want to make sure that we can see different ways things are going to look by making the adjustments we need. And again, the great news is this is all 100% to scale. So I'll just then take my pen and paper that I wrote down where everything is, or I'll look at a picture that I have pulled up on the internet, or whatever, many of things where I can figure out where all this stuff is going to be. And so I'll put the front door in there, and you just collect that, and let's just say that goes there. And then there's going to be obviously windows as well. So I'm going to put the windows in, and it really is just, drag and drop, point and click, and it's that simple. Great news is that you can do it in either view that you're in. So let's just say I want to duplicate this. I can do the same thing, and I could do it any number of ways. I could just go this way, or I could just copy and paste like we just did. So like, the way I just did it was going this way, where you come in here, you click window, and then you can come into this view and duplicate that on here. Or if you want, and it's the exact same size, you could just go right here and just right click and do copy, and then you paste it over here. All right, so that's what's great about that, and you can change all different types. This is by default, this is the style of roof you can do, and by clicking this little thing up here, you can go all different angles, front, back, side, blah blah blah, up, down, over. By default, it gives you this style roof, which is called a hip roof. A lot of times I don't use that, especially if we're going to be maximizing the space for attic space. I always will look for homes that have what's called a gable, and I'll show you how we can adjust that from there. But then we can then also create interior shots, and we can also create what's called dollhouse, which is a combination of the two. Dollhouse is just removing the roof and looking on there above as if you were taking a camera view from the top of the home, and you can go from same thing, different angles, and you can see what each thing looks like, and really make your adjustments from there. So let me pull up the view there, and again, you can do up and down, adjust the view, go in and out, around, spin it, pretty much, anything you can do with your mouse, you'll be able to do here. And again, you can change any of these things from the inside or to the 3D in this view. If you just double click on here, it'll bring up a couple different things. You can specify the type of room it is. You can change pretty much everything on the inside. Materials, the floor finish. You can select tile, different colors of wood. You name it, it's on here. And then if it's not on there, you can get and buy additional libraries on their website. I've never really had the need for that because I was able to do everything I needed to do on there. So, but the point being is that sky's the limit on what you can do in here. All right, and go back to this view. Let's just say you want to do just an interior view where you can see the room that way. You just go right to 3D, create camera view, and that one would be called full camera. And then you just really point where you want this to be. So let's just say we want to go here, and we want to do a view like that, which is straight on. But you can do anything you really want, you know what I mean? And then, after it'll generate there. Again, it is very taxing on your system, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer to have that view pop up, but depending upon your system will determine the speed of that. All right, so again, you can zoom in, zoom out, and then you can just take this, go all different angles, and really go full circle on how you want to view this. All right, so that's that, and then from there you can there's these little templates over here, which will, let's just say if you want a bedroom template, you put in bedroom, and it'll give you individual setups like different examples of a combination of a bedroom, or individual beds where you can just tie in and create your own. So again, sky's the limit on really how you want to use this, and the same thing holds true with the kitchen. You can make your own design plan, or you can use one of their pre-designed plans and plug it in. I always use the individual plan, and I'll just, there's a little tool over here, which is cabinet, and then it just, you drag and drop whatever you want in here. There's your kitchen cabinets, and then you just go down the line and create sort of like what you want from there. And then from there, those are the bottom row, and let's just say we're doing, a island, for example, or a peninsula. I do these a lot of these styles a lot. You can use that like that. Let's bring these over, and then, let's just say it's going to be one of those larger style. You can pull this out and make the actual cabinet bigger. So really anything you want here, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to show you what that looks like in a 3D format. And then you can add, all different styles of utilities and appliances and anything you want. Then we'll just go back to that view to get an idea what that would look like, and that would be, you know, where you're at from there. And then you can make adjustments inside here or inside of the other view, or whatever view you feel most resonates with you. Like if you want to drag that cabinet in, you can drag that cabinet in. And you can choose the color. Say you want to choose all the different color cabinets, you can do that. And then again, you're going to do the same thing with the upper row, and then put all your appliances in, refrigerator, stuff like that. I tend to gravitate towards that, so I can kind of, you know, because their templates you can't change, but here you can. So if I want to just take that and get rid of that, all I have to do is press delete, boom, and it's gone. I can put, let's just say, a refrigerator there instead, and I can toy around with that, and it's easier for me based upon the, you know, the floor plan that we're shooting for to do it that way. But, you know, whatever's comfortable with you is what you're obviously going to want to do. And the whole point of this little demonstration here is to really bring full circle on the customization process. And I just wish I had this software years ago, because I would used to do it old school, just draw it on a piece of paper and try to reconfigure it. And when you don't have the sizes of the, you know, how it would fit into a scaled version, it becomes extremely difficult to put something like this together. So these software, and then having the capability to see it in 3D, is a huge home run. A lot of times, you know, I'll toy around with adding certain things, and like, for example, a tub. A tub, you know, the generalized size of a tub is 5 feet, and they have everything inside the software is set up to that. So, you know, let's say your standard type of tub here is 5 feet, but if you want, you can adjust that. And, you know, this is how I'll kind of like just work and build new floor plans around this, and which I would never have been able to do prior to that. And then again, you could turn these all different ways you want. So if you want to turn this, you just click on that and you turn it around. So that's where the tub is. And now you can plan the rest of your bathroom and your walls accordingly. And that's a lot of times how I do it. And that's how you really get like a vision that's inside your head to scale in this software. And it's amazing, because then you're able to see it 100% to scale in 3D, any one of these views that we discussed. And, you know, really helps you put your plan together. And I think it's important that you have the best software, and this is like the best without really costing too much. There's software that goes upwards of thousands of dollars, but everything that you need inside of here is inside this software program to do all this. And you can just modify, you know, pretty much anything you want. Colors of the floor, the walls, anything. Sky's the limit. You can really get what's inside your head into a reality, and then it's amazing then executing that plan, seeing it all come together is really spectacular. So this is the software. Again, I told you also have, you can do this on the free version. Problem with the free version is that, you know, you really don't have the capability to add the attic feature, which in my opinion is huge, but it works very similar to the way that software works, just in a, you know, slightly different capacity. And you can do this on, they have it on Android or the Apple Store. You can do it on a tablet or your phone. How you would do it on a phone would be a little difficult. But, you know, it starts out here, and you can just drag these wall back. And then, like, let's just say you wanted to add another floor. You click Add Floor, and then, you know, you'll see this is the outline of what the lower level is, and then you just want to duplicate that, and then you just drag one of these boxes over, and then you make it fit in there. So it's not, you know, rocket science. The problem with this software versus the other software is that it doesn't allow you to create the pitched roof and, you know, be able to customize the interior portion of that attic space, which we do a lot in our projects to maximize the square footage. But the same thing, you can look at the 3D version of that. And same thing with this software, you can change whatever the outside material is, the inside material. Again, the only big problem is that the portion up here where you have the roof, you cannot do. And that, to me, was the huge limitation there, so that's why I decided to invest in the other program. But this is a great software to start off with, to really get an idea of what's possible and how you can start tweaking things. and then maybe if you really want to get specific, invest in the program, but invest in the software. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully you got something out of it. And if you have any questions, obviously we have the Q&A call. You can ask any questions specific to that, and I'll answer it. All right. So that's about wraps this portion of it up.